Hey there, Sparkrock community. We're really excited to announce our new release version 22.5 for Sparkrock 365 2023 Wave 1. And we want to start with thanking the Sparkrock 365 customers who have shared your amazing feedback throughout the year. It's so helpful, and we put that feedback right into improvements for the product and for our services, so thank you so much. In this video, we'll go through some of the release highlights for platform, for finance and procurement, for HR management, and payroll administration. And then we'll wrap up with a demo of one of our big features of this release that we think you're going to love. So here's a quick overview of the new features, and then we'll do a deeper dive into each one. For the platform, we've updated to Business Central 22.5. And one of the new features of that will automatically copy links when posting general journals. For finance and procurement, we've built a financial analysis extension right into the product so you can compare budgeted versus actual financial information in real time. Now for HR management, Sparkrock 365 now supports absence request payouts for salaried employees. And last but definitely not least, by popular demand for payroll management, we've added the ability to reverse compensation and payroll ledger entries. Let's do a deeper dive into the features, and we'll start with platform. So now when you're posting general journals, it will automatically copy the links that you add to a general journal straight through to the posted general journal page after posting. So maybe you're posting links to a receipt on SharePoint or some other website. It will copy those links to the posted general journal, general ledger entries, the vendor ledger entries, etc., etc. It just makes things a lot easier for auditors, and it provides that transparency so they don't have to go clicking around looking for things. It's all carried through. This version introduces financial analysis capability to Sparkrock 365. You create a data set of the information you want to compare, and then in real time you can compare budgeted versus actual information. You can then see any variances and then drill down to see what's causing it. Now, this might look familiar to some customers because there's an existing financial analysis tool that was only available as a special consulting project. We've now added financial analysis to the product, and it's available to all finance customers. If you're using the existing financial analysis tool, a Sparkrock consultant or customer support will help you upgrade to this new version. All existing datasets are still going to be available in this new extension, so see the release notes for more information on that. Now, if you're using the existing reporting and analysis tool, it is still available to you, but in the next year, we'll be retiring it in favor of this built-in financial analysis extension. Of course, you're going to be notified about that well ahead with timing and migration plans. Now for HR and payroll, absence request payouts for salary employees are now supported. So for example, if someone has exceeded their absence entitlement, you can now approve that absence, but pay it at a reduced pay or even no pay. You'll see when you go to the HR employee assignment card, there's now a new field, and it's an automatically calculated field called salary hourly rate. Now, the first question that's probably coming to your mind is, okay, Sparkrock, how is that salary hourly rate calculated? So we're going to do some math. The calculation is the annual salary on the amount field times the active FTE times the pay grid pay period adjustment factor times the pay period frequency divided by the hours per year. So an example is probably going to be helpful here. Let's say you have an employee that their annual salary is $50,000, their full-time FTE, their pay grid pay period adjustment factor is 0.038, their pay period frequency is 26, and they have 1885 hours per year. Well, then the salary hourly rate that would be used is $26.21. And so what'll happen is when you go to your compensation journal, you'll now be able to see those absence requests and see how it will impact pay that will display for each HR pay code. So you can set up your HR pay codes exactly how you want to be able to pay out those absence requests for those salaried employees. We get into a lot more examples in the release notes, so really encourage you to check out the release notes for this 22.5 release. The big feature for this 22.5 release is reversing compensation ledger entries. Before this release, you had to manually enter reversing entries. Then you had to go find and reverse each payroll ledger entry. You could do it, but it's like hunt and peck typing. Whereas with this new release, you can reverse compensation ledger and payroll ledger entries simultaneously. You can reverse a complete compensation register or the individual ledger entries, and then it will automatically update associated records like absences, timesheets, shifts activities. It's like going from hunt and peck typing to speed touch typing. It'll save you so much time. So we're so happy to deliver. So we're going to do a demo of this, but at a high level, the compensation registers page now has a reverse register option and a reversed field. So like I said, you can reverse an entire compensation register. And what'll happen is a new row will be added to the compensation registers page with source code of reversal. And then it will check reversed when the entire register has been reversed. Now the compensation ledger entries page now has a reverse option as well. So when you select that reverse button, it will give you the option to reverse the payroll entries. So you can automatically do that. And then you can filter by document number, by employee number, by posting date, or any other field you want to really dial into the entries you want to reverse. This won't delete those entries. It'll create reversing entries for you. And we're going to be doing a demo of this in a moment. All right, let's get right into reversing some compensation ledger entries. We're going to start with reversing compensation registers. So we're going to reverse all of the entries that are in a compensation register. That's number one. And then number two, we're going to look at reversing individual compensation ledger entries and how that will impact things like the payroll ledger. So to start with, we're here on the compensation registers page. And a few things I want to point out right away. First of all, we have this beautiful new reverse register button. So if you select that, we'll start the process of reversing some or all of the entries in that compensation register. That's number one. Also, there's this new column here called reversed. And so that will show you whether a compensation register has been reversed or not. It's not something that you select. If you reverse all of the ledger entries in a compensation register, this will then automatically check. If you only reverse some of them, like you can see, for example, this one, we've got from entry 288 to 289. If you only reverse one of those two entries, this will still show unchecked. It's just if you reverse all of them, this one will then be checked. And for all of these things we're going to be doing today, once that reverse checkbox is checked, you can't then go and re-reverse it. Once you reverse it once, any changes you make from that has to be manual as our forefathers did. So let's take a look at reversing this compensation register here. So what I'm going to do is, because this reverse checkbox is unchecked, I know I can do it. So I'm going to select reverse register here. And right away, it's going to pop up this new page called reverse compensation entries, which asks us which of these compensation entries we want to reverse. So we could just reverse some of them. And again, this page has that reverse checkbox, so you can tell what has been reversed and what hasn't. But in this case, we want to reverse them all. So we're going to reverse document number 207 and document number 206. So we're going to hit reverse here. And the first thing it's going to let us know that correcting entries will be posted. So remember, reversing is not deleting. Your original entries will still be there, but it's going to automatically create those correcting entries for you so you don't have to do it. So we're going to say yes. And then it asks us, would you also like to reverse the related payroll ledger entries? And yes, we do want that. And it's let us know that the entries were successfully reversed. It's taken us back to the compensation registers page. And you can see now our compensation register that we just reversed is still there, still have our 288 and 289. However, the reverse checkbox has now been checked, and there's a new compensation register created, number 30, with a source type of reversal. So this is where our reversing entries are held. And if we select compensation ledger here, you can see that it keeps the same document number, the same employee number, all that sort of thing. But if we go over to the right, you can see the source code is now reversal, and it's reversed out the hours for each of these compensation ledger entries. So that's reversing an entire compensation register. Let's take a look at reversing individual entries in a compensation ledger and how that impacts the payroll ledger. Okay, now we are looking at the compensation ledger entries page, and a few things I'm going to point out right away. First of all, we have two new fields here on the page, reverse by entry number and reversed entry number. And you probably won't see them by default, but you can always add them by going into personalization mode. And you can see here these entries that we've just reversed, document number 206 and document number 207. So it's letting us know that our original entries here, this was reversed by number 291. And it's letting us know that our reversal entry here reversed number 289. So you can always tell, first of all, that something has been reversed. Second of all, what it's reversing. And third of all, if it has been reversed, what it has been reversed by. You can always track back and find that. In this case, let's say we want to reverse this entry here. Document 204, posting date, October 29th. And if we jump over to our payroll ledger, you can see we have our payroll ledger entries here for our employee number 155 and 153. So let's go back to our compensation ledger entries. And again, we're going to reverse this 153 on October 29th. So we're going to hit this new reverse button. We'll select our employee number. We'll put our posting date. And there's this option here that says reverse payroll entries. And that just asks us if we want to reverse our related payroll ledger entries, which of course we do. And we're going to hit OK. It's letting us know again that correcting entries will be posted. And now if we go to our payroll ledger entries, you can see that the payroll ledger entries for 155 are showing up because we didn't reverse those ones, but the ones for 153 are no longer appearing here in this list because those have been reversed. Now, of course, those payroll ledger entries aren't deleted, they're just reversed. And if you want to see them, they're hidden by default, but it's very easy to show them. You open the filter menu, and here's an option that says show system filters. So that will show you what's being filtered by default. And you'll see that reversed is set to no, but we can turn reverse set to yes. And now we can see all those reversal entries that are hidden by default. And if you want to hide them again, just go back to no. So that's a quick demo of reversing compensation ledger registers and individual compensation ledger entries. For more information, check out the release notes for this release. Thanks so much for watching this video. As always, we can't wait to hear your feedback on this release and on Sparkrock 365 in general. Have a great day.